Good morning. Thanks everyone for coming to celebrate organ and tissue donation and bringing attention to the wonderful citizens of Revere about organ and tissue donation, to learn more information about it and to figure out where you register, and that is at the great state agency of the Registrar of Motor Vehicles, the RMV. I want to thank so much to the mayor for helping to host this event to bring attention to organ and tissue donation and bring light to individuals who've been personally touched. There are currently over 121,000 people in the United States waiting for a life-saving organ transplant. There's over 5,000 individuals in New England waiting for that phone call that their life could be extended. Our motto is donate life. We don't want anyone to pass away. Organ donation, in a lot of ways, is a miracle. The opportunity to save someone else's life when someone else no longer needs an organ. The first and foremost objective for all hospitals is to help save another individual's life. But we encourage people when they go to the RMV to register as an organ and tissue donor. In fact, the state plays a significant role in that 99% of all people who register and learn about organ and tissue donation do so at the RMV. We're so pleased to participate in a federal grant with the RMV in the state of Massachusetts to present information regarding organ and tissue donation through a video that's shown at all the RMVs, educating individuals about organ and tissue donation. I'm so pleased to be here in Revere, where it's a really great community, where people truly want to help each other out. And an easy way to do that is to register as an organ and tissue donor, either at the RMV and or online at donatelifenewengland.org. You can learn more about organ and tissue donation and register as a donor at donatelifenewengland.org. Mayor, thank you again for having us here at your beautiful City Hall and for sharing your personal story regarding organ and tissue donation. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming and joining us today for our Donate Life event. I'd like to start by thanking the New England Organ Bank and the Registry of Motor Vehicles for organizing these events today and shining a spotlight on the important aspects of organ donation. I'd also like to point out and recognize some of the elected officials that we have today. We do have Representative Rosalie Vincent and School Committee Woman Stacey Rizzo, and representatives from Speaker DeLeo's office joining us today. And I'm here to announce the Donate Life Month in the city of Revere, which we're joining many communities around the Commonwealth in celebrating and promoting the importance of organ donation. During Donate Life Month, we encourage Revere residents to register as organ and tissue donors by checking the box at the RMV to become an organ donor. When you get or renew your license, you could one day save a life and dramatically improve a life. It's a simple step and one that can be and can have a profound impact. And I know that personally, as many of you know, my father, John Arrigo, received a double lung transplant in July of 2014 at the Mass General Hospital. And so the importance of organ donation has personally hit home with me, and that's part of the reason why I signed up and was very enthusiastic about signing up for the event today. The fact is that I've been lucky enough, and my family and my father's friends have been lucky enough to have additional days with my father, thanks to the incredible technology and incredible work that organ donation can provide. And so really, it's been an incredible time, because between July 2014, when my father received his organ, or his double lungs, there have been an awful lot of things that happened since then. And I've gotten married. In that time, I've gotten married, I've had a baby, and I became mayor. And the fact that he has been able to see all of that is really special. And unfortunately, he's unable to join us today, but I know he'll be watching this, and I do look forward to watching it with him, hopefully later today. So I'm sure that there are others here that will have similarly inspiring stories, and I look forward to hearing from them. I also look forward to hearing from the RMV Registrar, Madam Registrar Erin Devaney, about the registry's role. So thank you again, and I look forward to hearing some of the stories that we have. Thank you.
Mayor, thank you so much, and through you to your father, thank you for sharing that personal story of an individually touched by donation. When we talk about what we do on a daily basis, we talk about time. We show appreciation for time. A, extending the time of individual who has a failing organ, and B, remembering individuals who've passed away and remembering their time on this earth and their ability to help save someone else's and give time to them to continue on to live. So thank you so much for sharing that. Again, we have just a wonderful partnership with the Massachusetts RMV in that 99% of all people who register do so through the state agency. Erin Devaney's wonderful staff, who's got a lot of energy, positive nature, do a fantastic job of verbally presenting that question each and every day for those individuals every 5 years who go in to get and or renew their license. We take great pride in that we are the only public health question presented on a state document that's seen by the vast majority of the general public. About 72% of a state's public voluntarily goes to the state agency of the DMV to get something, aka a driver's license or an ID. So to have that question that we know can make a great difference is important. Organ donation is very unique in a public health sector for two reasons. A, we're not searching for a cure. We know what that cure is, and that's the ability to utilize an organ to help save someone else's life when an individual no longer needs it. And B, or two, when we talk about donation, we're not talking about a financial donation. We're talking about the altruistic gift to register when you go to the RMV and say, if I no longer need this organ, someone else can continue to live. I want to thank again Registrar Devaney for her amazing leadership, her positive attitude, and her embracing this effort on a daily basis to share the story and encourage people to register as organ and tissue donors. It is a voluntary choice. That being said, it is not a neutral choice. Both the state and federal government strongly supports it and provides it at the venue of the DMV in Massachusetts and every other state in America to present this question. Registrar Devaney, thank you so much for your time being here today.
Thanks very much, Matt, and I'd like to thank the mayor for allowing me to be in his community, Representative Vincent for the leadership that she has shown at the state level, and for everyone in the entire Revere community for recognizing the importance of organ donation. There's nothing greater that we can do at the Registry of Motor Vehicles than to serve the public, and there's no greater service that all of us across the Commonwealth can do than to give someone else the chance to live. I have to thank my entire team. Our Revere service location is one of the 8 busiest branches all across the Commonwealth, and each and every day we strive to provide better service to the community, and part of that service is making sure that our customers are aware of the opportunity that they have to make the greatest difference you can make, which is by donating your organs and giving someone else the gift of life. So on behalf of the entire Registry of Motor Vehicles, we are extraordinarily proud to be a continuing partner with the New England Organ Bank, and want to give a special thanks to Matt Boger and his entire organization and their volunteers, as well as the mayor for sharing his story and his father's story today. There's nothing that helps each of us to understand what it means to sacrifice until we actually hear about the benefit that that can bring. So on behalf of the registry, the entire Massachusetts Department of Transportation, and on behalf of Governor Baker and Lieutenant Governor Polito, I'd like to thank everyone for being here today and encourage everyone to consider when you go to the registry or you go online at the registry at massrv.com that you give someone else the gift of life. So thank you.
Thank you, Registrar. Really appreciate what you do on a daily basis, and our partnership is strong, so thank you for that. I want to reiterate that organ donation is extremely rare. You're actually more likely to need a transplant than to become an organ donor. Last year, in all of New England, there was only 270 cases where an individual was able to become an organ donor. That being said, one individual has the opportunity to save up to 8 people's lives. Our objective, again, is to save individuals' lives. Through the wonderful miracle of transplantation, we can do that. I'm so pleased to be here to share the stories of individuals personally touched by organ donation. There are 2 sides to organ donation. A, an individual who's alive today because of that wonderful gift, and also the individuals who've been personally touched when their family members became an organ donor. And they miss them each and every day, but realize that they gave a magnificent gift to someone else to continue. I'm so pleased to introduce one of my close friends, Carol, to share her story of her personal being connected to organ donation. Carol, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Matt. Right there, the white folder. Sorry about that. I picked up the sign instead. So it's important, though, I like to carry this folder with me because then I get to display this cute little boy whose name is Ethan. And it was April 1999 when my husband and I left Boston to fly to Monterey, California to visit my son and his family. My son is an Army officer and was lucky enough to be stationed in Monterey at the time. And while Ethan, his mom, dad, 3-year-old brother, Grampy, and I were having a wonderful vacation adventure, our lives changed forever in a split second of time when a limb of a giant redwood tree fell and hit him in the head. MedFlight flew Ethan to Stanford University, where he received the most wonderful and compassionate care. And we prayed, and we continually prayed for a miracle, that he would live and be the same happy, loving, beautiful little boy that he was when he woke up that morning. However, after 3 days, the pediatric neurosurgeon explained to us, his Nana and Grampy, that Ethan was about to be declared brain dead and that his mom and dad had chosen to donate Ethan's organs. I can't really explain to you our emotions. There were so many. We were crushed. And yet, as parents, we were so proud of this wonderful decision that these 2 heartbroken kids made. And again, we prayed. But this time we prayed that a donor would be found. And in our pain, suddenly there was a feeling of peace that came over us. Later, we were told that no one needed a heart that size. And though very disappointing, Ethan's liver would be going to a little boy from the Northwest, and his 2 kidneys would travel east to Pennsylvania for a 55-year-old man. And immediately, it felt as if a sun came out with a beautiful rainbow in the middle of a terrible storm. That's the only way I can explain it. Finally, something wonderful would come out of this terrible tragedy we were living. And then we brought Ethan home to New England and buried him next to my mom. It was sometime in the year that followed, during that period of my grief, and I realized one day that on that same Easter weekend, while we were praying for Ethan to live, the family of those 2 donors were praying just as fervently for their loved ones to live, and our Ethan was the answer to their prayers. And yet, how blessed were we to have had him in our lives for that short period of time. So I share this story in the hopes that if I can impress just one person with the importance of organ donation and the rewards of organ donation, then his legacy lives on. It was 17 years ago last month, but there are times when it seems like it was only yesterday. And through this story, Ethan has touched more lives in his very short life than I will ever touch in mine. So in honor of Ethan, the beautiful, lovable, cuddly, blue-eyed blonde, I ask every one of you to consider being an organ donor. And if you already are one, spread the word. It can make all the difference, not only to the recipients, but also to the grieving, heartbroken donor family. It doesn't take away the pain, but it certainly softens the sorrow and lightens the darkness. Thank you so much. And I hope you will remember what I think is a great story, and I'm always willing to share it.
It is the stories, the powerful stories that are really the driving force of helping saving others. And there is very few stories that are as powerful as that one. Carol, thank you so much for sharing that. Carol has gone with me to nursing schools, medical schools, high schools, helping to educate people about organ and tissue donation. We would do anything to get her grandson back, but through an awful event, something was bloomed for other individuals. And like today being spring, there is hope and rejuvenation through organ donation. Carol, thank you so much for your magnificent story. And as I said, the two sides of organ donation, family members who've lost loved ones and really cherish and enjoy telling the stories about the heroism of those individuals, and then the individuals who are the recipients, who are alive today because of that wonderful gift. I'm so pleased to introduce Glenn, who's one of our fantastic volunteers, to share his personal story as well. Glenn, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Hi, my name's Glenn Wiley. In November of 2015, I received a liver. The story behind that transplant was in February of 2015, I was diagnosed with liver cancer. I was told that my best chance for survival was a liver transplant. I received that liver transplant because someone took the time to sign up at the registry. I'm trying not to get too emotional, but Carol's story, when you're a recipient and you know that story behind, it becomes very, very emotional. The only time I ever cried throughout the whole process was when I told my nephew, excuse me, that it was a shame that someone's journey had to end for mine to continue. And the appreciation that myself and others I've talked to that are recipients is beyond belief. The kindness and the generosity of those life-giving donations is beyond belief. So I thank Carol's family, I thank every donor family, and I thank everyone that just signs up. It's a powerful thing, and it's a great thing. Now, what I'd like to do is, on a little bit more pleasant note, I'd like to thank the registrar. I just bought a car trailer, and I went to register the car trailer, and I walked into the DMV office, and I saw the Donate Life signs. And when it was my turn, I actually thanked the person. I said, thank you very much for, asking people to be a donor if they don't check anything. She said, yes, I try to do it all the time, but I got to be honest, sometimes I forget. So we were sitting there talking, going through the business of registering the trailer, and I shared my story with her. And just as I was leaving with my license plate, I said, thank you very much. And she looked at me and she said, I will never forget to ask again. I just think that is fabulous, and if you can share that story with the other people, it's just, the gift of life for being an organ donor is unbelievable, and I know that myself, I will be forever grateful. I thank everyone in Revere, everyone in the country that signs up to be an organ donor. It's a very altruistic thing. Thank you very much.
Glenn, thank you so much for sharing your story. And if we have time after, Mayor, I do want to show you Glenn's wonderful car. Not only is it a fancy sports car that he drives extremely safely, Registrar, but it has the Donate Life logo on it, bringing attention to organ donation. And Glenn, each time I see you, says, I met another individual because they came up to me and told me their story about organ donation because of that logo. So, Glenn, thank you so much for visually bringing this to people's attention and being a conduit to share stories. Thank you so much. As I said, the state of Massachusetts and every state plays a significant role in that the question is required to be presented at the RMV. I want to thank the House, Representative Vincent, and through you, the Speaker of the House, for supporting this wonderful effort, for helping to bring attention to it, and for applauding the efforts that the RMV does each and every day to present the question, would you like to register as an organ and tissue donor? Representative Vincent, thank you so much for being here. I want to thank the Speaker as well. Registrar Devaney and I were in his office about 2 months ago, and he was so appreciative of us being there, sharing the stories, and he spent a good amount of time listening to individuals personally touched, and he felt such a great pride that the state was involved in something that truly affected individuals. Massachusetts is a great state for a variety of different reasons. One of those reasons is we have among the best hospitals, not in the world, but in the universe. And our transplant programs are amazing, and they are saving people's lives. So this unified work is fantastic. Representative Vincent, thank you so much for being here and your time to talk with us today.
Good morning. On behalf of Speaker of the House Bob DeLeo and myself, I have greetings from the state. The first would be to the Registry of Motor Vehicles. And the citation reads, "The Commonwealth of Massachusetts, the House of Representatives, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the Registry of Motor Vehicles in recognition of Donate Life Month and the incredible work that you do to promote organ donation to save lives in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses the hope for future good fortune and continued success in all endeavors, given this 11th day of May 2016. Speaker of the House Robert A. DeLeo and myself, Representative Rosalie Vincent. So thank you so much for all that you do. And I'd be remiss for the New England Organ Bank, we also have a citation. And also, be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to the New England Organ Bank in recognition of Donate Life Month and the incredible work that you do to promote organ donation to the lives in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Given this 11th day of May 2016, Speaker of the House Robert A. DeLeo and myself, Representative Rosalie Vincent, thank you so much. And I'd be remiss, Carol, I almost cried when I heard your story. You are an incredible spokesperson, as is our wonderful mayor and Glenn. So thank you all for sharing your stories, and the state is behind you 100%. Thank you.
I also want to thank Speaker DeLeo's staff and the school council for being here, really school council committee for being here. We do have a program in that when you get your learner's permit, we have a 9-minute video that shares information regarding organ and tissue donation so that the individuals who are going to the RMV for the first time have information on that. And again, working through the RMV, we get information about the amount of people who register, and it is glorious. Last month, Registrar, we had our highest to date of registration rates for a month, and that was 56% of people who came into your offices said yes to organ and tissue donation, which is amazing. 4 years ago, that number was 45%. And having your staff verbally ask that question makes a great deal of difference. So thank you so much for your wonderful leadership, and through that work, lives can be saved. So thank you so much to you and your wonderful staff. I want to thank again the mayor, who is just a wonderful and kind individual, realizing that efforts like this, getting information like this in the community, can make a difference. Being the conduit to share the stories of individuals he's personally touched, and sharing your own story, Mayor, is truly the definition of leadership. So thank you so much for us being here today in the wonderful town of Revere on a beautiful day with the optimism that warm weather in spring is going to be forthcoming. I really appreciate everyone's time. Thanks again.
So before we close out this morning's event, I'd be remiss to not mention the fact that one of my staff members in the audience, Joe Gravelisi, actually received a cornea transplant last year that has helped treat an eye condition and dramatically improved his eyesight. And so this is an event that is important not only for the community, but as we've heard today, we have personal stories, and not only my personal story with my father, but with my staff. We know the importance of organ donation and the fact that when somebody's quality of life can be improved or somebody can add years to their life, the importance of that, you can't put a price tag on it. You can't put there's no value greater than time. So With that, I want to thank everyone for their attendance today, and I appreciate all of the support, and I look forward to actually getting one of those Donate Life decals to get on my car. So appreciate it, and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
My name is Katrina Wade. I'm 37 years old, and I've been waiting for a kidney for 3 years. If I don't get a kidney, I will either be on dialysis for the rest of my life, or I will die. As a parent and a mom, I think about my kids not growing up with a mother, that my husband will be stuck with 4 little girls. As human beings, we're all looking to do something for someone else or give something to someone else, and an organ donation would be a way that you could still keep on giving after you die, and it would live on in somebody else.
Jason had so much to offer, and yet didn't have the gift of time. Jason came back from Seattle, and he decided to tell me that he wanted to be an organ donor. In fact, it was on his license, and I thought, I'm very proud of you. On July 31st of that month, we got the call that Jason had had a terrible accident. Jason had said that he wanted to be an organ donor, so we knew exactly what he wanted us to do. It's the right thing to do. It's the humanitarian thing to do.
Laura was my 3rd daughter. She was a special kid. Her life was a challenge, physically, emotionally, being sick, going to the doctors all the time. There's a huge hole in our family. I think I want people to know how badly organs are needed to save people's lives. You are so much more likely to need a transplant than to be able to be a donor. And by checking the box, you can give somebody else a second chance at life.
I'm Jim Boyd. Becoming an organ donor is very easy. All you have to do is check the yes box.
Caitlin, oh, she's just a happy-go-lucky kid. She loves life. She was very, very sick, though. And she almost didn't make it. I mean, she was actually taking off the transplant list for a while because she was too sick to receive a transplant. They kept her alive. They kept her healthy enough until a liver became available for her. Caitlin's donor's name was Jeff, and he was 22. Caitlin's got a framed photograph of him in her bedroom on a shelf, and we have that candle burning in our window that is in honor of him. It's always lit. Life is truly a precious gift. It really is. And we are so fortunate that Caitlin got a second chance, because I couldn't imagine life without her.